button of choice. And because we didn't really plan for me to teach tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. So Angie was going to do a class on how to recruit with the starter kit promotion, and then what to do once you've recruited. That she'll still do that next week. But before I do anything else, let's think. Okay. Starter kit is how much? Come on. I know the answer. Selena knows the answer. How much? How much?
28.
28 bucks. Do you know how many people on my team could not answer that question? Because you know what happens? Our bandwidth is lower right now. Like in your house, if everyone in your house is on the Wi-Fi, it gets lowered, right? So, and by the way, I'm using headphones because the kids are watching a movie upstairs at my daughter and her boyfriend. So I'm just like too distracted by it. So if I'm too loud in your ears or whatever, just turn me down. I won't feel sad about it. Too quiet is never a word that's usually used to describe Carol, so it's fine. $28. So many of my consultants could not remember that number. And it has changed a lot, right? It was like 34 and then it was more and everything else. It's 28 bucks. Right now, when they sign up, they still get that beautiful little cute bag with the catalogs and everything else in it, and this awesome new consultant guide. But they also get a free eye makeup remover and a free mascara. So it's $42 worth of product for 28 bucks. Plus being able to buy at half price. And Leanne was just saying, because of the buy one, get one with the product of the month and the antioxidants and everything, you could get your entire year's supply of just your vitamins and collagen and just do that if you signed up, right? We are not to tell people that this is a VIP package. Please do not use that word. Or like a Costco membership. So if you've been trained to do that before, Mary Kay Canada has asked us not to say those things. Okay? It is not a Costco membership. It is not a wholesale club. It is a way to make some money. And yes, you might just make some money by saving some money. And that's okay too. All right? So don't forget, don't sleep on it. It's already what day is it today? I don't even know. Is it the 11th? 10th? 12th. Wow. It's already almost the middle of the month. I'm here to just give you hope. It's already almost the middle of the month, and chances are you haven't asked anybody. Am I right? You haven't asked a single person. I know it. I know it. Don't lie to me. Who's asked somebody? Who's talked to somebody? Okay, I see your hand.
I have.
Oh, we got somebody's volume is really high here. It's like blinding me. I don't know what that is, but it wasn't like words. It was just somebody's background noise. So hang on. I'm going to mute everybody.
Last week.
You had to sign up last week. Is that Raylene talking? Who's talking?
It is.
Happy, yay. Congratulations.
It's my first one.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. That is so great. Like that is the kind, it's like everything just goes from there. I mean, once you rip that Band-Aid off or get started, it's like when you don't want to cook dinner, and then you're like, I'll just take something out of the freezer. That's all I'm doing. And then of course you're not going to leave it, just stick it in the freezer, right? Did you guys get sick of me talking already? Yeah. They're going to the basement. They're like, you're annoying with your motivational speaking. They don't like it. They've been raised on this whole like, you can do anything thing. And they're like, we're over it. All right. So when you recruit your first person, how many people, just with a show of hands, do not have one consultant right now on their teams? Like you're new or you have a few. Okay. How many of you are above red jacket? I know some of you, directors, you don't have to raise your hand. I know you. I can't see you all, but I love when you all come on. I know you thought it was Angie and you're all surprised. Sorry. When you don't have a team yet, you make this mistake and this misconception of I'm not going to recruit till I'm successful. And then I'll have a team, right? Once I'm making some money, it'll be cool. I'll tell people they can make money too. but I'm not going to tell them before that. That'd be crazy. What you forget is that money and your team, like making money in your sales and running a team, go hand in hand. In fact, motivating your team members is more likely to get you higher in sales, because now you have somebody looking at you all the time. Not the imaginary somebody you might recruit one day, but the real somebody, real person who's looking at you. So you know how you hear all the time, like, oh, when you're recruiting, you don't have to do anything, your director does it all? I hate that phrase, even though your director does a lot. I want you to love your people. Love them as you would like to be loved, which means that you're going to remind them, hey, don't forget, there's a meeting tonight. Don't forget, there's something going on. I miss you. I love you. I miss your face. Could you use some extra money? I'm here to help. That's what you're doing. You're not training them, right? We don't want the blind leading the blind, especially if you're new. Like, we love you, but don't tell them things. But we do want you to motivate them, to excite them. And there's some major power in those first people. My first people are still with me, right? My first people became my first offspring. They are my people. They're still with me. And so that is really powerful. So I want you to think about that. This is the month to just ask somebody to do 10 to 15 minutes on a call to say, would you consider this as a business? It may or may not be for you in a million trillion years, but I need your help. I want to know your opinion. And just give her. So what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, because of course we didn't really have this planned, I was supposed to talk next week, is just doing it simply. Mary Kay Ash was so famous for the phrase, keep it simple, sweetie. And don't we overcomplicate things? Like, I can't just talk to her for 5 minutes about the business. It's got to be an hour-long phone call with my director and a survey at the end and a video. Oh, and don't forget to drop off some stuff at her house first. And you're like, well, that's fabulous in a perfect world, but I haven't left my house because I'm scared of the Quran. Right? That's fabulous if I have the time to do that. That's fabulous if my director is available. I'm so sorry to my consultants when I couldn't even speak. Right? It's not available. Like, sometimes that doesn't work. So what do? You do what's easy. I want you to learn to hack your own lives. You know your stuff better than anybody knows your stuff. What is your big obstacle? And then help yourself to remove it. I'll give you one, okay? So, I craft. If you don't know me, I craft. I craft a lot. I love to make things. And I don't even like the word craft because that implies I'm following a plan. I do not follow a plan. I just do what I want. And I make dollhouse stuff. So I've been using my basement office, which has most of my product, because my little office is very small. Like, this is as big as it is, okay? Upstairs for all my inventory and everything else. And I've been working down there. But guess what happens? I go down there to work, and then my craft stuff's there, and then I have to clean that up first, and then I have to move this around. And then, oh, don't forget, I was going to do that thing. And I don't really want to do the thing. Or the other way, I have to do the Mary Kay thing, so I can't do the fun thing. Not that Mary Kay isn't fun, but you know what I mean. So I decided over the Christmas holidays that I was going to change that, and I was going to make my office back to what it was, where I actually stopped and got in my office during the day and had my product in here and everything else and figure it out. It doesn't have to be all the product. The rest can go in bins in the basement, right? But just so that I could feel like it had to go in bins, by the way, because the sawdust was not good. So I moved everything upstairs. I've got my office desk set up. I figured out that that is something that's major for me. Something else was, if I didn't put makeup on in the morning, I felt like it was okay to be a schmo all day. I didn't have to do it live. I didn't have to do that Zoom. I didn't have to do anything because that's ugly. Not that I'm ugly. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm not really saying that. Do not message me like, no, you're beautiful both ways. Trust me, if you saw me during shingles when I had the lip infection, I was not pretty. I looked like Sloth from the Goonies. Full story. Okay, you can check it out on my Facebook. It's not good. So I knew that I couldn't do that then. The other thing is, do you set yourselves up for failure by deciding that your video calls have to be absolutely bloody perfect? You got to have the perfect background. You can't do a video call from your kitchen. That would be nuts. You got to have that, like what the nationals have. They have to have the most beautiful backgrounds and they have to have the whole thing. And they have to be dressed the right way. And you have to have the makeup on perfect. And you have to do all the things first before you can video chat with her. And you have to have all your products lined up all pretty. Because God forbid you might say, oh, I don't have that in front of me. Oh, she might hate you forever. Like, give me a break, okay? We decide we're going to do a Facebook party. We can't just show them 2 things. That would be nuts. We have to show them everything. We got to show them all. And we don't feel like we did enough if we didn't do that. A Facebook party was only 15 minutes. That's nuts. Who would do that? That's stupid. Mine has to be 16 hours long and everyone has to hate me by the end. Okay, seriously. When you tell me that you haven't read all the things about the new consultant package, and then you go and post all these huge long things for your customers to post, to read, and you're like, it's your business and you didn't even read it, then you're like, I expect them to be able to read this all and go through and comment on every post. And they're like, not okay, and they're not doing things well. It's too much. Take it back a step. Imperfect action is better than perfect procrastination. Every time. And I really, truly believe that we got to get away from this concept of Mary Kay directors and Mary Kay people being all perfect and pretty. Because we're not. There are days we're not perfect. There are days we're not pretty. There are days we don't feel inspirational. There are days like that. Mama said there would be days like this. And we cannot keep doing that because it is an unrealistic expectation for our consultants to feel like they must be that. I didn't want to be a director because I knew that every time I wore pantyhose, I snagged them. And here I was looking at Joyce Goff, who, my God, she probably has the same pair of pantyhose since 1984 because she is perfect. Literally, like she's like Barbie. In my next life, I'm coming back like Joyce Goff. Okay. But she can glide through and she can sit down and not dump the stuff all over her and not snag her pantyhose. And I really thought that's what all directors were like. I really had this idea that that was the only thing. And so one of the reasons why the 4 of us decided to get together is because we really all truly believe that. Authenticity is better than anything, except that I really don't like that Nadia likes to do video calls the first thing in the morning because she's pretty and I'm not, because East Coast to West Coast, it's not good. And my bangs, because I sleep in one of those like face masks, are up like this, like, and I'm trying to talk to her like, what? Like, no, I don't like that. But otherwise, it's fine, okay? You don't have to be so worried about what you look like. We don't have to be worried about filters and all those things. No one cares anymore. And you know what? The good news is Gen Zs really don't care. So if you're going after a younger demographic, if you're going after teenagers and early 20s, they do not care about perfection. They're over it. It's the millennials that are all about that. Okay, my daughter's all like Snapchat pictures are like her nostril, her eyeball. Like it's not pretty, not filtered, no thought process. It's just whatever. It's just real life. They're so about authenticity. And that's where we're going, guys. That's where we're going, right? That's going to be our buying public. That's going to be all the things. So we're going that direction. So I want you to fully embrace it. Be authentic. Now, for me, and I know that a lot of you have some health issues too. For me, especially the last few months and all of this, it was hard for me to book an appointment because I didn't want to not be a woman of my word and not show up. But then there are days that my jaw would literally seize and I could not speak. And so therefore, what do? Cancel on her, feel bad. Then I just don't book, right? So I decided that now that I'm feeling a little bit better, that I was over that. I was over it. I was going to go back to what I did in the beginning of the pandemic, which just was if somebody was online that I knew and I saw them comment on something, anything, I'd message them and say, hey, are you available to video chat? I just miss your face. And it doesn't have to be a Mary Kay chat, guys. It turns into that because if she's your customer, she's going to ask you about 97,000 questions. Do you guys have friends who are your customers? And then you go out for dinner with them and they're like, hey, but which under eye corrector is better and which concealer is better? And I just need to know, does like gel eyeliner better or waterproof liquid? I'm not sure. And you're like, I just want to drink my wine and eat my like steak. I don't have my books in front of me. I don't have anything. Like, can we just, I just want to, yeah, so that's what they're like. So all my customers that have been chatting with me are like, oh my gosh, Carol, what do I do for this? What do I do for that? It's not formal. I don't have anything in front of me. Sometimes I'm walking through my house holding my phone. It's not perfectly lit. It's not all the things. And it's still effective. I'm still getting what I need to get from that. Okay, they're getting what they need to get from that because we miss each other. We miss human connection. So I'm keeping it simple. I'm going back to one-on-ones. I'm going back to stopping these Facebook parties that don't work. And I'm sorry, if they are working for you, cool. But Facebook has changed their algorithm 17 times since Sunday, and I have no idea how to get through it anymore. And I'm over it. I'm totally over it because they're not effective. And I don't want to spend my time and energy on anything that's not effective because that's what simple is. A real life example is how many of you are people who can put things in containers with lids that have a label on them and be okay with that and not forget they exist ever and then buy the same thing again. So those of us with ADHD cannot have invisible storage. We just cannot. If it is gone in a box with a lid that I can't see through, it's gone. It went away. It's not there anymore. I have to have clear bins. These are life hacks that I need. Doesn't matter if it says Christmas all over it. Doesn't matter. It's just gone. And then I pay the ADHD tax where I have to buy it again, or I just don't even open the box, or I just dump the box, or I move the lid. Like we can't have lids in this house for things if they're open shelf storage. Like you can't put a lid on it. It's just going to be lost. It'll look really pretty for 2 minutes and then it's gone. Anyone with me? Yeah. It's like, I can't have things separated out like pens in this container and markers in this container. No, it's just got to be a big dump because it might start out that way, but it'll just make me feel bad. So you just have to know your life. You have to know your potholes that are in the way and you got to stop steering into them because they only sort of damage your car the first time. And then the second time they get deeper and deeper. And your car gets weaker and weaker. And suddenly you're stuck in the pothole and you don't know why. It's because we don't know how to hack our own lives. We don't know how to create our own self-discipline that works for us, not anyone else. I posted the other day, like, don't be buying a bunch of planners and stickers and markers because it's not you. Know yourself. And then I laughed at it, giggled, and posted it. And then I was cleaning my office and I found my 2021 planner with 1 day written in it. And I was like, maybe I should buy another one. No, stop it. I am not a planner person. I am a notebook person. That works for me. Urgency works for me. I know what I need to do. I can separate it out. I'm good. The only planner I've ever worked with effectively was the Pam Shaw one. And I had to work that planner. Like I had to commit to that sucker like a marriage for 6 months before I could do it. So, you have to know how to hack your life. You have to have things within easy reach that you use all the time. What systems do you have in place so that it's easy for you to start? So in the days before the pandemic, I would say, is your starter kit always packed and clean? Because how many of you have held yourselves back because the starter kit wasn't packed and cleaned? And it doesn't matter, in your brain that you had time to clean it before your appointment on Wednesday, but it doesn't matter. You're just not going to book that appointment because you're busy. You need to clean it. It's going on the list. So before I can book any appointments, I must clean my starter kit. Right? And I used to teach classes all the time about taking medium-sized Dollarama freezer bag, putting a mirror in there, putting your profile cards in there, putting your order forms in there, and a catalog and a mascara wand, all the things, so that you could go, yep, I'm ready for 10 people. And then be out the door. Can't do that right now, right? We're all hiding from the Quran. So we're all virtual. Well, what's your virtual setup like? Before you go virtual, do you have to like set up 16 different things to get it ready? You have to find your light. You have to find your things. Think about what works for you. So just here, hopefully this isn't gonna knock everything out of my face, but do you see? Oh, can you see that? I am well lit, y'all. Okay. That's not even all of them. There's the other one. I have my ring lights are actually strapped to the wall. It is not pretty and it is not perfect. I used a staple gun and some zap straps or zip ties. I was like, enough of this, because the tripod kept falling over and then I'm trying to do stuff and then it's like the ring lights are everywhere and it made me crazy. So I strapped them. Who cares? I can fix that later. But my goal is to make my life easier, not harder. And then as the offset of that, make your customers' lives easier, not harder. How many of you have sent a website link to your customer? She ain't clicking it. I'm sorry. Do you click it? Like, I just got one for Plunder Jewelry and she's like, go to my website. That is a lot. Like, unless I know what I'm looking for, I just know. Tell me one thing I should buy. I'll buy it. But I'm not going to click it. I'll put it in my to-do file inside my brain. And now there's another folder in there that's going to stress me out because I feel bad that I didn't click the girl's catalog. And I should have, because I like her. And I didn't do it. And I feel bad. So instead I just said, how about you just send me some pictures of things you like with the prices on them? If I like stuff, I'll post it too. Because I didn't really want to do a party. I'm too busy. So done. Don't do the check out my catalog and a 19-page essay. Especially if you're new, right? Hey, Annie, I haven't seen you in a while. How are things? And you think that's a personalized message. It is not a personalized message. She knows it's gut-based, okay? I just wanted to let you know I am now a Mary Kay beauty consultant, and here is my link. Please enjoy shopping with me. I would love to help you out. And also, by the way, our favorite products are blah, 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 and she's not reading it. She is not reading it, and you spent all this time typing it out for no reason. Keep it simple. Hey, Annie, miss you. Tell me what's good. That is my favorite. No one knows how to respond to how are you? Because if we did, it would be like this. I don't know. Like, does anyone really know how they are? For real? We're not. We're good. We're good. Oh, yes, we're good. We're sort of good. We're fine. We're great. I don't know. I like, tell me something good. What's good? Tell me some good news. Tell me what you're excited about. And then all it is, you guys, honestly, I just go, hey, do you have 15 minutes to hang out with me on video? We can do Messenger or Zoom, which is better for you. Not, do you want to? Would you like to? It's not a yes or no. It is Messenger or Zoom. Done. Done like dinner. Okay? You got to give yourselves a little bit of grace here. It is okay if your catalog is bent and you give it to her. You know, one year, oh my gosh, it was way back when we were working on a $400,000 unit club and we missed it by 20 grand. And I like drank myself to sleep and slept in on July 1st. I didn't know that there was an extension because the computer systems all crashed. So then all of a sudden we're camping. So we're panicking, all of my friends and I had one catalog that was wet underneath my car seat. And they went around the campsite with this wet crinkled catalog, and we sold $10,000 in that one campsite, not including what my unit did, and did the $400,000 unit club for the very first unit club with a moldy catalog. It does not have to be perfect. It's your enthusiasm that matters. It's your life that matters. It's the way that you want to share your life. Your expectations of yourself need to be higher and lower at the same time. Does that make sense? You need to realize what's causing you to not have discipline and get rid of it. So you got to have higher expectations of your ability to do hard things. You can do hard things. You've been doing it for 2 years. You can do hard things, and you got to raise your level of personal expectation for yourself and tell yourself that you are better than this. But then you still have to give yourself grace on the other side of that and go, I'm better than this, and it's okay if it's not perfect, because at least I'm doing it. You know, in Friends, when they're doing the dance class, and Monica goes at the end and she can't tap dance with everyone else, and she's like, but I'm doing it. Imperfect action is better than perfect procrastination. And you cannot tell me that no matter what the skill is that you need to learn, that if you didn't practice it every day, that you wouldn't get better. It's impossible. It is physically impossible. Sure, talent plays a part. Sure, your natural skills and abilities play a part in your life. They do. But we all have them. We just have different ones. Right? And again, I say to you, do the Gallup Strengths Finder 2.0. I know I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Buy the book on Amazon. It comes with the link at the back for the kid for the test. It's cheaper to do it like that. Then you don't have to pay for the other extras to get the results. Do the test in a quiet space when you have time, and then it'll give you your top 5 strengths, and it'll tell you how to work within those. And you use those gifts and talents that God gave you, and you figure out how to hack your own life, because you can raise your own expectations of yourself without placing expectations from other people on yourself. Because that's the stuff that weighs you down. It's not the expectations you have for yourself. It's the I should be. Other people do it this way. They're better than me because they do. That is the stuff that is causing you to not be able to do the things you want to do. I don't need to recruit that person because I'm not the best recruiter for her. She'd be better off with somebody else. Oh, Cassie, somebody type the name of the book. Oh, here it is, the Gallup Strengths Finder. And if you can't, if it's gone later, just message me. Gallup Strengths Finder 2.0. Do you see I have my laptop all raised? Because I'm prettier that way. And I just keep the boxes there. And I know I could buy one of those little raisy desky things or get my dad to build one. But until then, this is good enough. It's just good enough. Because good enough is better than failing and feeling bad about yourself. You guys have to know that these past 6 months, more than 6 months since my jaw disorder was diagnosed, and dealing with all the stuff with my jaw. So if you don't know, I have degenerative disc disease in my jaw joints. Okay. I did not work like a top director. I don't think I clocked in more than 10 hours a week at most. I was only allowed to speak 20 hours a month total. Every time I talked, I had to press the stopwatch so that I wasn't ruining my jaw joints more. Okay. So just picture that. I was not working like that. And I still made more than I made as a teacher after working for 12 years. Because I have residual income from the base customers from my unit that I didn't have to work as hard for. So I worked when I could. I used the energy I had. And you have to understand that the reason the direct sales model has been so successful for so long, unlike MLM, it's not the same. Because we sell a product, we don't just sign people up. We sell a product, and so we have 2 streams. You want that. And if you're not using both streams, you're not using what Mary Kay Ash wanted. And it's not going to be perfect. And your consultants, guess what? They're human and flawed too. So they're going to let you down. They're going to let themselves down. It's fine. You still love them. I still love you, even if you're not doing what you wanted to do. Just like I hope that my recruiter loves me. Doesn't matter. Okay? Give yourself some grace. Know that it's okay. That it's maybe your first pancake and you're going to mess it up. It's fine. Because there's no real way to mess it up. Okay? Building relationships is building relationships. And no matter what, if you work from love, not ambition, if you work to glorify the divine, if you work to glorify what is the universe or God or whatever you believe, if you work for that, not blind ambition, not I need to be a red jacket because that makes me important, not I need to be a director so I can be awesome. If you work from true love, I want to love people. I want to raise them up. I want to build them up. I want to sell to them so that they're happy with what their face looks like and how they feel. Then you will always be successful. Always. And you got to love on yourself like that too. Okay? And I'm done. 6:00. Look at that. Boom. Any questions or anything, comments or whatever? We decided to get rid of the draws because we all suck and never send the prizes. So I'm glad I'm not the only one.
The book's on sale. It's $20 off on Amazon.
Exactly. And it's like if you go to the site and try and do it, I think it's $35 US. So it's way cheaper to get the book. Plus then you have all the things, and it's so within our bandwidth right now. Because you get your 5 strengths and each strength is like a page and a half. You don't got to read the whole book. You go to your strengths. So mine is achiever, activator, ideation, strategic, and woo, which is charisma. And it tells you how your strengths work for you and how they don't. So because I'm an activator, for example, somebody gets an idea like, hey, we should go to Nashville in June because there's a music festival there. It looks really cool. And I've already priced out the tickets before I've thought about whether I want to go. Right? I've already okay, sure, let's do it. And so that's a drawback, right? Being an achiever can sometimes be a drawback because if you're not achieving, you don't feel good. And then when you don't feel good, you don't achieve, and it's just a terrible cycle. Get yourself into the space where you feel good about what you did every day, even if you don't get any results from it right away, because they will pay you back. I promise. It comes back tenfold. I just got a $300 order today from one of my very first customers from my very first trade show that I got 10 names at. And she has been my customer now for almost 12 years. Never signed up, but that's okay. Right? Okay, any other questions? No? Can I share some really good news? So I've been taking the collagen every single night without fail. I have it beside my bathtub, actually. So again, another hack. Wasn't doing it in my coffee because I didn't really like the way it tasted. Then I would say, oh, maybe doing my second cup, Or now I have to video it because I should be videoing it. So it's on Instagram every time and I just don't want to because there's not a cute background. My desk's messy, whatever. I wasn't doing it. So then I put a Yeti cup and a straw and my collagen beside my tub. And I do take a bath every night because I need it for my fibromyalgia and the Epsom salts. So I mix it every night just with the bathtub sink faucet thing. And I drink it in the tub every night. Well, I just had my jaw appointment. I was at stage 4, almost stage 5. And when you get to stage 5 of degenerative disc disease, there's no replacement, right, for the discs. So that basically means you are no longer able to speak again, at all. And I was almost at that stage. And I've been downgraded to stage 3, almost stage 2. And so, seriously, God is good and the collagen is great. And you got to get it. And get your people on it because seriously, I mean, I know it's not, make sure if you say this story and you're welcome to share it, that you don't go all people will get good bones out of this because there's no clinical test from Mary Kay about that. But I do know the collagen is good for me. And so I just thought I'm just going to take it. And my bone density has improved a lot. And there's no other real reason. So that's pretty incredible. And so I'm really grateful to be able to share with you guys today and to talk to you and to just feel a little bit more like myself. And I am going to give myself some grace too, and not just work from crazy, frenzy, blind ambition. I'm going to work from love always. And just know that that will pay me back, just like it will for you. Okay? So, yay for some good news. Now I'm all teary. Sorry. But shingles are healing and jaw is healing, hopefully. So, yay. And that's really awesome because the disc, like it's like this and there's a ball. And so it doesn't regenerate, like it doesn't, you can't replace it because there's nerves there. So then people go blind or deaf and all those other things that can cause facial paralysis. So they used to replace it, they don't anymore. And it's a different joint than the rest of your body. So it just, that was I didn't even think to take college to do it. I just thought I would do it. But yeah, pretty awesome. Anybody else have anything that they want to share or chat about before I let you go?
I won a prize from you before and you did send it to me. You
I'm
sent me a
good
little. So you did it.
I do have a whole list. Eventually, thou wilt get thy prizes. I do have I didn't forget you. I just sitting there like one day. I will remember. See, thank you.
No, I got mine.
I know you did. Thank you, Alva.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. And a little note in there. I just felt super special.
Now I feel really guilty for the people who don't have it yet. I didn't make you feel special. I'm sorry. I love you.
You always make us feel special. It's always so nice to be in your presence.
I just adore you. Thank you guys for showing up.
I really, really needed to hear you tonight. Thank you.
Oh. See, everything's for a reason, right? We're meant to be together, and we're meant to gather. And I hope the 6 people who are going to leadership have a great time, because I think there's only 6 Mary Kay directors going to leadership right now. Because we're not, I mean, it's hard to travel right now, and I don't want to get stuck in the US, that is for sure. So yeah, my friend was trying to convince me. I'm like, no, that is a hard pass. I am just hiding in my house, trying not to get the cron. I've gone this long without the vid. It's not getting me. All right. Anybody else? I keep seeing people raising hands and stuff. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. It doesn't come up in front.
Hi.
So. Hi, Lois. Is that you raising your hand?
Yes,
Here.
yes.
Hi. Here. Hi.
Actually, I have degenerative disc disease for I'd say about 8 years, and I never once thought to use collagen. Now I'm all excited. I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so excited.
My day.
I am so excited for you. Seriously. If you haven't tried it yet, you guys, I tried bovine collagen before. It really messed with my gut. This is so gentle. It tastes great just in water. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it where, you know, when you look at people's houses and you're like, don't they have vitamins out on the counter? Like on pictures, and you're just like, where's their vitamins? Like they're hiding them in the cupboard. They're not going to take them. How many of you have thrown out vitamins that like you bought with all good intentions? And it was like $80 a bottle and it's like expired 4 years ago. So if it's not in sight for me, it's not happening. So yes. So Lois, get it inside of you. Figure out where you sit, where you relax, where it's easy. I love that. I love it.
I'm in tears.
I so hope it works for you. Honestly, I've like, I mean, my general overall stuff is better too, but I just, and the other blessing of the fibromyalgia, or not the shingles, is that they've been asking me to take gabapentin all this time, but I took Lyrica a long time ago and I hated it. So then I started taking gabapentin for the shingles, and I don't have any side effects for it. So I'm going to keep taking it. So yeah, Judy, they saw a little bit of density growth. My last appointment was in the middle of October. So I usually go every month. So then between this, but they only do the x-ray every 2 months. So they did the x-ray, I think in August. And then they, or MRI, whatever they do this thing every appointment. They did it in August, then they did it again in the beginning of October. And they noticed a difference then, but not enough to downgrade me in my stages, just a little bit of more bone density. And then I asked them to do it this time because I skipped a month because of the shingles. So I asked them to do it and he was like blown away, seriously.
Oh, wow.
So blown away. He's like, took my cards, the whole thing.
Wow.
And I know like Mary Kay, like they haven't tested it on, that's why it's for skin and hair. Because it's not, it doesn't mean it isn't good for your bones. It just means it's not clinically tested for that. That's why we're not supposed to be saying like, oh yeah, everybody's going to get results from this. But you can share personal stories. You can say, hey, this happened to Carol. I can't guarantee it can happen to you. And- Is somebody talking or is it just like background? I don't want to miss anyone. Anybody else? I'm totally recording all this. I shouldn't be. Oops. Stop recording.